Hi, ladies. Welcome back to the MíraLA podcast. This week, I am speaking with the founder of 9 Glow Skincare, Natalie Aguilar. She was a lifelong dancer, now turned entrepreneur, who created a brand off of a personal struggle and has found purpose in helping active women feel confident in their skin. Please welcome Natalie.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited, and yeah.
I'm excited too. This is your first podcast, which is pretty iconic, having a first timer here at the MíraLA podcast. So Natalie, before becoming a CEO, starting your skincare brand, before the title, for the brand, who is Natalie?
I'm just a normal woman. I don't consider myself an influencer or anything like that. I am just a normal girl that likes to work out, that was pursuing college and then later on corporate life, just trying to find herself. And to this day, it's still not something I consider doing. But it worked out.
So let's talk about your mom and why she inspired you to become an entrepreneur and start your skincare brand.
She herself is an entrepreneur, and she's always had that spirit, and it was actually her who gave me the idea to start my own brand. During that time, I was really struggling to find myself within corporate America after college, and I really enjoyed working out. Like, it was just a hobby, something I did for health. And she asked me the question one day, why don't you start your own activewear brand? And that just got me thinking. I didn't really consider activewear, especially because I saw it very competitive at that time. And going back to like what I was going through, especially with my skin, dealing with acne, not just on my face, but also on my body from working out, I started doing research, contacting chemists, contacting manufacturers, really looking into the root of the problem. And I realized that we all, like including myself, were only focused on post-care, post-damage, showering, washing off our face, killing the bacteria later, but the damage had already been done. And dealing with acne was just a really, really big struggle for me because I didn't deal with it until I was an adult. And just wanting to like look really cute in the gym, wear my sports bras and like low cut back shirts, seeing all of that just really made me insecure to the point where it pushed me back in my fitness goals. So looking back into all of that, that's when I decided I think I want to do skincare.
That's so beautiful. And I actually relate to you. I didn't get acne until my adult years. And that mentally was very hard for me too, to the point where we had to get on Accutane. And it's so surreal. Around the same time, like 21, 22, my sister, who's 5 years younger than me, also dealt with the same thing too. And I think a product like yours is really valuable, especially for women, you know, that do have active lifestyles and that didn't necessarily have acne growing up. So they don't really know what products to use. So this is kind of like the go-to product for women who enjoy working out, active lifestyles, like you said. And it's not actually just for women. It's really for everyone, all skincare, right? Or all skin types. So talk to me about creating the product itself and what went into all that.
Of course. From the very beginning, my background is not in skincare or chemistry or anything like that. So I really struggled with believing in myself and putting myself down for not having that credibility. But I still pushed for it. I started, as I mentioned earlier, going to expos, contacting chemists, talking to manufacturers. And the more I talked to all of these parties, the more I learned about the right questions that I needed to ask or what I needed to look into. And that just really helped me. I did that for like almost 2 years.
So the formula itself, though, what does it have that is helping the skin kill that bacteria while you're sweating?
Okay. Looking back during my research, I was really focused in the ingredients, especially like non-comedogenic ingredients that weren't going to clog the pores, but more specifically the environment. Not to bash on gyms or studios, but it's filled with bacteria. It's inevitable. We have pollution even in our own households. That's also something that like I was able to connect and realize and look into the harm that it was doing to our skin, especially when it's classes like heated yoga or heated mat Pilates. Like all of these environmental stressors were really damaging the skin. So during the formulating time with my chemist, it was actually like her idea to do an anti-pollution serum for the hero product, the first one. And after that, just working with her and going back and forth with all of the ingredients that she recommended that I really wanted. Of course, she's the expert and she helped me like what ingredients go well together. But overall, we decided to go for a anti-pollution serum that's rich in antioxidants. And these antioxidants is what creates the protective shield. It allows it's what protects your skin from environmental stressors, bacteria, the heat or sweat to not penetrate the pores, damage your skin barrier. And we also wanted to do something that's very hydrating and soothing. When we work out, our skin gets very dehydrated and really red from, again, all of these external factors damaging the skin. So those top 3 things: actives, hydrating, and soothing ingredients.
That's amazing. That's very informative. And I think for someone like you who didn't go to school to study biology, chemistry, and to have a situation in your life that was affecting you and your mind, and you put yourself out there, you went to these spaces and didn't limit yourself because of not having the educational background, when you can just partner with someone like a chemist who has that background, and you start this beautiful partnership of a brand, right? And I think this is really inspiring to a lot of women, because I think that's what holds us back. For a lot of men, they will look at certain criterias of a job, and they might not even have all the criteria, but they will apply themselves anyway. And I think that's an issue within our womanhood, community, that we feel that we can't do something because we don't have the educational background or we don't have the experience. When in actuality, it's like you had this idea to create a product, an amazing product, and you didn't allow the self-limiting beliefs stop you. Can you just talk to me a little bit about that transition from the self-limiting belief of I can't do this to, you know what, I can do this?
It was actually my mom. Again, like going back to her, she's the one that snapped me out of it. For almost 2 years while doing the research and like prepping for working on the branding and prepping for the brand, I continued to push the launch and continue to like hold myself back. But it wasn't until one day she just looked at me, and I forgot what I even asked her. It was something, again, like just being negative and like doubting myself. And she looked at me and she's like, "What do you have?" She's like, "What do you own? You don't even own the skincare brand yet. Like, you don't even have the product yet. You don't even have anything tangible yet. Why are you so scared of losing something you don't even have?" And I cried. But it really helped me. It snapped me out of it. And I realized, like, she's right. Like, why am I so scared of something I haven't even tried, something I don't even have? The next day, that's when I like started working with my chemist, and when I opened the corporation and everything. And after that, everything just rolled.
So you mentioned talking about fear. Ultimately, everything you were experiencing was fear. but you turned that fear through a conversation that you had with your amazing mother, which I hope to meet her one day. She sounds incredible, into fuel. And that kind of fear that you were facing, you know, when you started 9Glow, overcoming that, what does that look like day to day? Because clearly those hard times are still present. As a founder myself, you're constantly going through different evolutions and changes within your brand, within your company, within yourself. So how do you overcome that day to day?
Just doing the things, snapping out of it, not thinking so much about it, just getting up and doing it, whether I'm not feeling good, whether I'm not in the mood, or doesn't matter what it is. I try to remind myself that I have to do it. I'm already in it, and I try to see the best out of it, especially when it comes to going to events. That's what I enjoy the most. Like, once I'm there, I smile, I put on a show, and I end up having a good time, meeting so many incredible people. Some of them have turned out to be lifelong friends, especially because they're people that you can relate to, that you can talk about business with, or just overall grow with. So just snapping out of it always makes up for it.
You mentioned something that I think a lot of people can relate, putting on the show. This season specifically, I want to focus behind the show, right? Because I know for me personally, like you, when I get to put on the events and I get to, you know, be here with you, getting to know your story, a part of me feels the same way, that, you know, mentally maybe I'm going through personal things, but I have to show up for my guests. I have to show up for my crew, and I have to be the one, you know, to do the damn thing, because I created this. But behind that, and behind everything, you know, that you show mentally, what are the things that you're telling yourself that get you to that point? Because I know for me personally, it's not a matter of like putting on this mask or putting on the show. That's who we are. But it's our current circumstances that it's not the everyday. It's just like sometimes, because we're just beginning our entrepreneur journey. So like behind that, like what is it that you're telling yourself? What is it that you're doing to make sure that you are able to show up to these events and you're able to show up for your supporters?
I go by, one of my favorite quotes is El que quiere puede, which is when there's a will, there's a way. And I know there's not always, you know, that feeling or that will, but like present time, but I know that the past me and future me have that will, and like decided to go after this dream. So I just remind myself, like looking back into the past, today I am where I was asking and like dreaming of to be. And I know my future self is going to really thank me for doing the stuff, for going after that dream.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
MíraLA.
Empowerment isn't just a word, it's a lifestyle. At Empowered with Gina, we believe in living with intention, leading with purpose, and never apologizing for the fullness of who we are. Our membership is more than access, it's community, a space where joy meets justice, privilege meets purpose, and accountability fuels growth. Here, you'll find exclusive content, real conversations, and practical tools to help you rise, lead, and thrive, whether in your business, your family, or your own personal journey. If you've been searching for a place that doesn't just inspire, but equips you to step into your power, this is it. Join Empowered with Gina today, and let's create a life you don't just survive, but one you boldly own.
MíraLA.
Your brand emphasizes consistency and effort. Wanna glow? Put in the work. How has that mindset shaped the way that you create your products and connect with your community?
Of course. I am a strong believer in consistency is key, especially when it comes to health and wellness. You don't see results in one day. You got to put in the effort. You got to stay consistent. So when it came down to formulating the products as well, I wanted to stay consistent with the branding and the idea of creating multifunctional products, not just adding products to the shelves. And that's also one of the reasons my line is very, very small. It's only 2 products. But because I am a strong believer in that I have to stay consistent too with my goal of catering to the needs of active lifestyles. And that means that these type of people are always on the go. They don't have time to do 10-step skincare routine. And yeah, so it's only 2 products, very multifunctional. It cuts down on steps on products, and it stays with that consistency in mind.
And these 2 products, you use them interchangeably, or you use step 1, step 2, or you're kind of able to just use one or the other?
I'm biased. They're my products, but I do wear them religiously every single day. They're not necessarily activated through heat or sweat. You can use them every single day, but I do market it and push it towards those with an active lifestyle because that's when the skin is the most vulnerable. So the hero product is just an anti-pollution serum. The top 9 actives are what we normally buy separately, like vitamin C serum, niacinamide, ferulic acid, coenzyme Q10. The list goes on to 14, but as I mentioned, the top 9 are what you normally buy separately. So for me to have all of those ingredients in one product in one step is amazing, especially in the mornings when I want to sleep in more and not wake up and do those 10 steps. The second product is a micellar toning essence. It's also a 3-in-1 product that cleanses the skin, regulates the pH level, and restores lost hydration. So that one, I do use it in the morning, depending on how my skin is feeling, especially during the winter time. Micellar water is more gentle, so instead of using a cleanser, I apply that as my first step to start with a clean face, then apply the serum, and lastly SPF. And if I'm going to wear makeup, I'll apply makeup. If I'm working out, the same steps. Post-workout, I just cleanse my skin with the micellar water, especially if I have an errand to run or something and I don't have time to shower or wash my face. That's what I use. But yeah, it just depends on my routine that day. But overall, I wear them every single day, rain or shine.
That's great. And your products, like you said, are for active women and people. So the types of events that you're doing, they're at Pilates studios, they're at gym studios. What has the last year promoting the brand been like for you?
It's mainly gyms and studios. I started doing pop-ups from the very beginning at Pilates studios, at spin studios, Legree, even boxing gyms, a little bit of everything, not so much commercial. I feel that I've received the most support from more smaller and boutique style studios, but that's where I try to be, especially at wellness events. There's so many social clubs opening as well, running clubs. Everybody was in the running era last year, and that's where I would be at. I would just reach out, ask if I can go table, and yap all day about my products.
That's beautiful. So my producer Brenda, she's actually entering her marathon training cycle, and she wanted me to ask you this. How would you recommend integrating 9Glow into the athlete's skincare routine so they can feel confident after the intensity of a marathon?
Of course. Going back to the beginning, when formulating the product, it was very important for me to create something that made me feel really comfortable within my own skin, especially because those skin problems were really holding me back within my fitness industry. So going back to your question, I feel that it's very important for anyone, especially if they're going to go after an intense workout or an intense event like a high rocks or a marathon, to not forget about their skin, focus also on the exterior, interior, and stay consistent. That's, at least for me, feeling comfortable in my own skin, feeling cute in with a gym fit makes me really comfortable and pushes me to go after those hard goals.
Your journey has been more than just skincare. I'm curious to know what it's taught you about your personal definition when it comes to your confidence.
It's taught me that confidence is more than just what it looks like on the outside. Sometimes it's more about how you feel on the inside, and just doing the things, especially when it comes to events or anywhere, like meeting people. Going back to putting myself down and not feeling like I had that credibility, I've realized that we're all figuring things out, and sometimes it's more important to like meet people, especially like the right ones. I've been very, very lucky, especially with women-owned studios and gyms. I've received so much support, and I feel that all of that has boosted my confidence into believing in myself, that I can do the things. Because even if I put on a cute outfit and do my makeup and hair, even if I do look confident on the inside, once I go and talk to these people or put myself out there, if I'm not feeling confident in the inside, it's gonna show. So all of this journey has taught me that I need to put in the effort to feel confident on the inside as well.
I want to talk about, your community. So when you're at these pop-up events and you're promoting the brand, what is kind of like the feedback that you've been getting from everyone that's been using your product?
Everyone is so amazed by the founder story, especially seeing the founder in person, which to me is normal. It's still a small brand. I'm self-funded, and I do all of these things myself. So it's really normal for me. But receiving all of the comments and feedback from everyone that gets to see me in a pop-up has been amazing. But it's also made me realize that I need to put in the effort, especially when it comes to social media, to tell my story. I'm not big on social media, and it just takes a lot for me. But again, going to these events has made me realize that I need to put myself out there, get out of my comfort zone, even doing something like this, a podcast, to tell my story.
It is important, and that's honestly one of the reasons when we had our pre-interview like months ago, and I was like telling you, like, I want to have you share your story, because it is important. And if there is a potential investor that is watching your episode, what are the things as a self-funded brand that you are seeking right now, like going into the new year? Like, what are some things that we can expect out of the brand, and how can the MíraLA community support you in that?
Something as small as just sometimes following a brand, engaging with them on social media, word of mouth, anything like that goes a big way. And I've seen that through the San Diego community. I'm still pushing to other cities, which is why, especially here in like South California, when it comes to like Orange County and LA, the communities are also really, really big. But since, again, like I'm not big on social media, I feel like I've limited my brand to only San Diego. So if there is an investor out there, I think my focus would be on pushing on like advertisement and marketing, and maybe more products. Not just, again, like throwing products out there, but there are some in mind that I feel that would stay within the branding and the core values of being multifunctional, but also support the skin of those with an active lifestyle.
So you mentioned that you don't want to make products just to make products. And I feel like a lot of the times in the beauty industry, there's constant launches or trends that are happening. But 9Glow is staying consistent with its minimalism and the multifunctionality, like you mentioned. So how are you and the people that use your products staying grounded in this philosophy in the beauty culture when it constantly pitches women that like we need more? What are your thoughts on that?
More is not always better, and just being loyal, reminding myself that you need to be loyal to yourself, to your values. If you value minimalism or your routine too, and your active lifestyle, especially if that means that you're somebody that doesn't just buy products or invest in something without putting in the research, without looking into its value. So, yeah.
Okay, let's go into the quick fire fun questions.
Okay.
What is your favorite time of day to move?
Lately, it's been in the evening. I used to be a big morning class girl, but once I realized that my energy and my mood was a lot better in the afternoon, I've made the switch.
Okay. What is the one product outside of 9Glow that you keep in your bag always?
In my bag, it's I forgot the name of the brand, but it's a Amazon brand hypochlorous acid to kill bacteria.
What is the smell or texture that instantly makes you feel grounded?
Lavender.
I like lavender too. What is a skincare myth that needs to die?
That's a good question. I think hyaluronic acid, it's going to prevent dehydration. I feel that even myself for the longest time believed that just with integrating hyaluronic acid into my skincare routine was going to maintain my skin hydrated all day. But once I learned more about it, I realized that it doesn't necessarily prevent dehydration.
Finish the sentence. When my skin glows, I feel blank.
I feel powerful.
I have a personal question. So your skin is amazing. Clearly, we can all see it. Aside from your products that you use, what's your skincare routine?
Okay. Besides the products, as I mentioned earlier,
or
in the morning.
What is your skincare routine?
Okay. In the morning, I do start with micellar toning essence to start with a clean face. I move forward with pre-workout, the anti-pollution serum, and finish off with SPF. That's it. I like Ulta MD. I forgot which one. It's that brand, the SPF, and that's literally it. For the night, I do use other products. I use La Roche-Posay.
I love that one
cleanser.
Yes, yes.
I use that one, and then I use, depending on how my skin is feeling, or I do like some areas, I like to do apply peptides like on my forehead, and the rest of my skin, since I'm acne prone, I like to use Sunday Riley's, I think, tea tree oil.
Okay.
And that's it.
And before we end this amazing interview, I'm so excited for people to get to know your stories and put your brand. If there is a woman who is listening to this that is going through a really hard time right now, dealing with acne and not really feeling confident, if you could just give her just a quick little, inspiring, some inspiring words for her right now.
Of course. Your health, especially when it comes to your interior, is really, really important. And I'm not going to lie and say that because I did do Accutane for the first round of acne. For the second time around of acne, I decided to not take any medication and do it like the natural way. I realized that while I was so focused on my exterior beauty and health. I wasn't looking in the inside, whether that was like the supplements that I was taking, or how I was feeling, which is what I feel that is what mainly impacted and gave those results to my skin. So looking inside, whether that's cortisol levels, how you're feeling, how you're talking to yourself, could really, really change how your skin reacts and how your skin, I'm sorry. I know it's not that simple, and mental health is a real thing, and I'm not trying to like just simplify it in that way, but to wrap it all up, like just look inside and how you're feeling and what you're consuming, whether it's words or supplements. That's my recommendation.
That was great. Thank you so much, Natalie, for being on the MíraLA podcast. It was your first podcast ever. You're going to go off and do so many amazing things, but thank you for being here. Always a supporter of you.
Gracias.
And we hope to have you back.
Gracias. Lo aprecio mucho.